The resources sector might be languishing, but the biggest dogs in the yard are getting creative with their tax minimisation strategy. And while shareholders might not have a problem with this, the Australian Taxation Office does, namely the billions of dollars of tax revenue simply evaporating. The ATO is investigating what Chevron, Shell and ExxonMobil do with their joint $73 billion Gorgon natural gas project in Western Australia. Chevron Corporation US borrows money in the United States at a very low interest rate. Then Chevron Australia borrows money from parent company Chevron Corp at a very high rate, sometimes 10 times the interest rate paid to US lenders. After the administration costs, Chevron Corp US makes a giant profit from its Australian subsidiary. Using this strategy, Chevron, ExxonMobil and Shell book almost $3 billion in profits a year, and the Australian government won't see a cent because this money doesn't attract tax in Australia or the United States. At the 30% company tax rate, the Australian government's missing out on roughly $1 billion worth of tax revenue. This alone could fund Canberra's new light rail system. So, over the 25-year life of one of the world's largest LNG projects, Chevron, ExxonMobil and Shell are estimated to make at least $60 billion in tax-free interest profit payments. But tax minimisation is almost a sport. How about BHP Billiton and Rio Tinto, our two biggest miners? They paid the Australian government $17.5 billion in taxes, but they've also been funneling billions of tax-free dollars through a marketing operation in Singapore. BHP digs up minerals in Australia, then sells it to a marketing branch of themselves set up in Singapore. While they do pay tax on this transaction, now BHP Singapore owns the minerals. And they're the ones who put a big fat markup on the Australian resources and then sell them to the original buyer, say China. After costs, this is nearly a $6 billion tax-free profit. Now that's resourceful.